Hello, fringers, spacers, my scum and villainy. Just here at the top to tell you that this episode is a little different than our other ones. It still features our fearless fringers, Elo and Beegax, and the crew of the way, but in the spirit of the season, and as a special treat for you, listener, this is going to be our Respect the Crait Empire's Edge Star Wars Holiday Special. It's a little longer than our other episodes, but it's a special, so it's got to be, special. Also, we had a bit of an audio issue with one of our mics. I fixed it the best that I could, and it's listenable, but not perfect. So there's still a little crunchy audio in there, so I hope that doesn't bump too much for you. And lastly, as we come to the close of the year, and the celebration of our podcast being 1 year old, I want to say thank you to all the people who support us and help make this show what it is. Thank you to the artists who have allowed us to use their incredible music. Many of their compositions are featured in this episode, and if you like the show and their music, you can check out more from them. Links to their work are in the show notes. Please go and check them out, donate to them if you can, and tell them how much you like their music, because our show wouldn't be what it is without the generous gift of their art. Thank you to our pod family, the other RPG podcasts and Star Wars podcasts that have encouraged us, supported us, embraced us, and shared us with their listeners and others. It was incredible to start this and to have that support and that feeling of fraternity right away. I want to thank both Jamie and Alex, my friends, collaborators, and fellow nerds. The time and love that they've put into making Respect the Crait is invaluable and immeasurable. I'm thankful every day for their creativity and their friendship. Mwah. Thank you both. And to our listeners all over the world, thank you. Many of you I have spoken with, heard from, and received endless encouragement and support. Thank you so much for listening and being a part of the small but growing community of people who love RPGs or love Star Wars or podcasts or just like good storytelling. This show is for you. So thank you very much, and please enjoy Respect the Crait's Star Wars Holiday Special. Hello and welcome to Respect the Crait. I'm your host and game master, Ian Duncan, and I am jingled all the way by some really great friends. Firstly, Jamie.
Ho, ho, holy moly, Ian. What a great intro. Hello.
Thank you.
I am Jamie, and I play Elo, the modified medical droid.
And it's always the reason for the season, Alex Herrera.
Hello, I'm Alex, and I play Beegax, the Doug Slicer.
It's, at the time of this, I believe all of our human Earth winter holiday celebrations are over. But in a galaxy far, far away, there is one celebration left to have.
Oh my god.
And that is Wookiee Life Day.
My favorite day.
Everyone's favorite day.
Even Lego caricatures in a similar universe's favorite day.
Oh, did you watch the Lego special?
Yeah, it was funny. It's cute.
I didn't see it, but I bet it's 100,000 times better than the actual Star Wars holiday special.
Yes.
I love it. There's like horny old Wookiees basically jerking it to holovids. Carrie Fisher is like clearly drunk off her ass.
Yep.
It's just Harrison Ford barely cares.
God rest her soul. She was a real one.
If you haven't seen the Star Wars holiday special, I think it's on YouTube. And take some mushrooms or just take an edible or something.
I think edibles would be better. I think mushrooms, that's like inner self-discovery type drugs. You don't want to taint your self-journey with the Star Wars Christmas special.
You don't want to have, trust me, you don't want to have something awaken in you as you watch the Star Wars holiday special.
Edibles, a nice Chianti, whatever's your poison.
Well, let's fill up our glass with a cup of holiday poison and let's get into it. A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away. 'Twas the night before Life Day, and all through the ship, no creatures picked up on sensors, not even a blip. Snowball, the slug thrower, was hung up with care, as well as some laundry and Creed's underwear. The Scrum Rats and Sleemos were at the Cantina, watching hollows of Nexus fighting in an arena. Lo in the medbay, Beegax sliced on his deck, the fearless of fringers in this whole parsec. Outside in the moonlight, black sands glitter and glare, but it's still coarse and rough, and it gets everywhere. A night like tonight, you just might believe. The Force may be with you on this Life Day Eve. So, first off, as we do always, let's do a destiny roll. And I hope, in the spirit of Wookiee Life Day, it all comes up light side.
Haha! Tainted. Life Day has been tainted. I got 2 dark side, Ian.
2 dark side? Well, that's okay, because I got 2 light side.
Nice.
2 light side.
Oh,
yeah.
It is a Life Day miracle. The 2 of you have been recruited for this secret Sarlacc gift exchange put on by Creed for Wookiee Life Day. Who did each of you get out of the crew? Who did each of you pick?
Can we roll for it?
You can, yeah. And there's only one exception. No one's got Creed. You could probably roll a d6 if you have one. So let's say 2 is Verse, 3 is Obram, 4 is Gur, 5 is Rat, 6 is whichever one of you that isn't yourself.
Gotcha.
And then 1 is a reroll.
Oof. 4.
So that's Gur.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, great. Yeah. I have to get Gur a gift.
And what about you, Jamie?
I got a 6.
You got a
So
6.
that's
So
me.
that is Beegax. And we'll say for now that you've already taken care of this gift exchange. We don't have to know what it is yet, but you've already gotten something for the person that you are supposed to get something for. Our camera is moving through the hallways of the way. It's kind of quiet on the ship this evening, and we move past some of the we're moving through the hallways, and like you can see with the cables and cords that go around the floor and on the ceilings. Now there's also like sparkly tinsel and these colorful orbs that are hanging around all over the inside of this space. Not the typical decor of the way usually. And as we slowly push by all of this stuff, there is also like a holographic tree that is projected, a Life Day tree that looks like a smaller version of one of the large trees that are from the Wookiee homeworld on Kashyyyk. And this has all been set up by Creed. Now, Creed is Gran. He's not a Wookiee, but Creed is so into Life Day. He has been talking about it for weeks. He has been putting up all these decorations, and he has set up among members of the crew a secret Sarlacc gift exchange between all of you. So everyone has drawn someone and is supposed to get some kind of gift for them on the ship. And so we're moving past all of this very slowly. There's just sort of like a cool crispness in the atmosphere, and then boom, swish pan, and suddenly the camera is moving very quickly backwards as we are tracking a pair of boots that are moving quickly along the walkways, making their way down with absolute purpose, and the boots stop at a terminal at the side of the ship, and then the camera like dollies up and we see Verse, a human woman in a dark coat, short hair. She is looking very stern at the moment as she hits a button on the communicator on the side of this terminal. Beegax, LO, get out here now. We've got an emergency. Where do we find the two of you? Let's start with Beegax.
Beegax would be in his quarters. He just wakes up. He like rolls over. Looks around. Oh god. And pushes himself up. You hear like bones crack. And he'll hobble over to like the intercom communication device in his quarters and hit the button. What's wrong, Verse?
I need you out here now.
Okay, hold on. He lets go of the machine. Where are my pants? He looks around for about, I would say he looks around for a good 2 minutes, and he's like, I don't wear pants.
Faster! You just hear over the intercom.
And then he just grabs whatever he can find. And like as he's grabbing it, that's the camera wipe to LO.
Absolutely. We wipe to LO. Where's LO?
LO is, I want to say LO, after talking with Creed, is looking for more shiny sort of medical waste that we can use as decor within the ship. So
wait, did you say shiny medical waste?
yes, I did. I'm thinking like old, I don't know, scissors or something.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, totally. It's like a bunch of sharp objects and needles and stuff.
Yes.
But they sparkle, they gleam.
Exactly. They've got that little festive jolt to them.
Twinkle,
you know?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
So up on a ladder somewhere, looking in cabinets within the medical bay and hearing this over the intercom, is just going to put down whatever they're doing and grab Barney and head out.
Barney follows you, the little Polis Massa medical droid, who's just a little orb with a very cute, very simple digital interface on its face that sort of mimics expressions, and the expression it has now is like one of alarm as this emergency is being called. So the two of you come out in the hall, and Verse is like hanging by this terminal, and she's kind of like looking around, and when she sees you, she's like, come here. Keep your voices down.
This better be good.
Well, we've got kind of an emergency, so it's not great.
Oh, yeah. I mean, good as in, like, tremendously bad.
Yeah, it is tremendously bad. So I just talked with Gur, and he said that he pulled Creed for the secret Sarlacc gift exchange. And so I asked him, so what'd you get him? And he said that he didn't get him anything. And the only present he wanted was to see the look of disappointment on all three of Creed's eyes when he didn't get anything.
Beegax is gonna laugh. That Gur. Such an asshole. And he stops. Oh, wait. So everyone gets something but him. But Creed.
Yeah, not only that, and then she like hits a button on the terminal and like a video comes up, and you can see Creed is like wrapping presents, and it's just like it looks like a wasteland of gift stuff. Like there's way too much effort going into trying to wrap the few gifts that are around here. There's like tape everywhere, and there's like tape stuck to him and on his eyes, and like bits of paper, and he's like cutting way too big pieces of wrapping paper as he's putting this together. And she's like, and the dummy did Secret Sarlacc wrong. He got everyone a gift on the ship. So he's going to be giving a gift to everyone, and he's not going to get anything.
Okay. Beegax, rubbing his face, still kind of half awake, half asleep, looks to LO. Do we have any funds for purchasing things, or how are we dry?
I'm sure we could figure something out.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to need the two of you to do it real fast, because it's Life Day Eve tonight.
I've never really been
too keen on Life Day being one of 8 siblings. So, I mean, what happens? Like, do the gifts go first, second? Like,
Well, tomorrow is Life Day. On Life Day morning, we're gonna give the gifts.
Okay.
I get it. I don't really celebrate Life Day. It's like more of a Wookiee thing, but
Yeah.
Creed's really into it. He's really into it.
Okay.
If this goes poorly for him, it's gonna break his big dumb heart, and then he's gonna lose the will to live. And we all know what happened to Queen Amidala. I mean, that's serious. People can die in Star Wars, losing the will to live.
I always thought that story was fake. I never really bought into that whole.
Yeah, no, I know. I thought it was fake news too, but yeah, I guess she just gave up. I don't know. I'm not.
What's the name of that hospital again? I don't want to go to that asteroid. I got a plan. He's gonna clap his hands. We take the ship to the nearest port. Tell Crait to keep doing his thing, and we bring Gur with us as punishment for not getting him a gift. And we make him go with us to buy something or get something for the guy. What is Crait into anyways? Not weapons. I know he's just good with them, but that's not his thing.
Yeah. I mean, he likes the big axe, but not. Yeah, he just kind of likes it because it's like big and fun. He likes making sure people that people are happy. He likes rocks. He likes pretty rocks. He likes, like, I don't know, like geodes and criff. Like, he's into that. That kind of thing.
Okay.
He's got like a whole rock collection.
We'll keep our eyes out for rocks.
Yeah, I mean, how hard can it be to find rocks?
Are there any other Life Day traditions that maybe we could do for him?
I mean, you'd have to ask Creed, but I'll try and keep him distracted, okay? Maybe I can find out some, but you gotta make it back here before Life Day morning tomorrow so that he can get his present. We can have this. We can do this, okay? Because that's the big tradition, the morning. We all get together in the morning. That's
I know that part.
What is going on here? Obram walks up, approach. Obram is an old man in like loose fitting robes. He's got like a hot cup of drink or something, and he's like, "What are you all converging and talking about?"
Obram, nothing big. Just damage control for the holiday season.
And when Beegax says it, he kind of grimaces. He's like he doesn't understand it. He doesn't get it. This is like Life Day isn't celebrated on Malastare, and if it is, those people are seen as like overachievers. There's other things you got to worry about, like how you're gonna get food on the table, and if you're gonna get pushed out of your neighborhood because the encroaching settlements from whatever. Who is it? The Grand?
Yeah, it's a Grand.
Oh,
yeah.
Great! Yeah, or imperial occupation. There's always different things.
Yeah, yeah. Life Day's a Wookiee thing. It's like celebrated commercially among the rest of the galaxy, kind of.
It's become the Cinco de Mayo of the Star Wars universe because Cinco de Mayo has changed from what it was originally supposed to be. Like,
right.
Beegax looks to Obram.
Hey, don't worry about it. Just relax.
And he looks at the time, or whatever the equivalent of a clock is in this universe. Looks back to Obram.
What are you doing up?
Secret's out. I'm old. I don't sleep a whole lot anymore. And plus, Creed told me I couldn't be in the social space because he's wrapping a bunch of presents or something. He said it was top secret, but I know it's Life Day stuff.
Yeah, it's no secret that Creed loves Life Day.
And he's gonna look to Elo.
Hey, I know you're bad at piloting the ship, but I think if anyone saw me go to the pilot's chair, they'd realize that something was up, so maybe you can plot a course for the nearest port. Something, a little not imperially.
Elo's gonna scratch their head and say, "I'll do my best."
Bring Rat with you, just in case.
Elo will wave over Rat, and as they're walking away, will sort of pose the question, "Do you happen to know how to park a ship?"
I want to say Rat is like trailing you can see, like, you call for Rat, and you can just see Rat on the monitor, like, just going through where Creed is, like, just like rolling over a bunch of paper and stuff, and you can just see Creed like, no, like silently like trying to get him out of there, but the droid is just like going, and when it comes up to you, it's like trailing tinsel and like wrapping paper. And it gives you sort of like a sarcastic little salute with one of its little spindles, and versus like okay, yeah, good. Take Rat, perfect. I can't find Gur, so I don't think he's gonna be coming along with you. He's bounced off somewhere. Yeah, kind of a jerk. What gives?
I don't think it's a Bothan thing. I think it's just the Tute clan thing. And he looks back at Elo as they're walking away.
I mean, it seems like he didn't really have a nice relationship with his father, and I can kind of relate, seeing as I didn't really know my dad, and there was 8 of us. But that's no excuse to treat the big softy like that. I'm gonna have to leave him a nice surprise for his Life Day gift.
And he realizes he just gave away who he has. And he's like, Chuta.
Hey, you know what? That's fine. I'm glad I'm not getting a gift from you anyway.
And he looks kind of hurt when Verse says this.
I'll have you know, I have given plenty of gifts in my day, all greater than the last.
He just kind of sticks his chin up at her. Does the rubbing thing. Aggressively rubbing.
Yeah, on his chin, yeah. Well, you better put it to the test for getting this. What's the nearest port? And Obram sort of like speaks up and he's like,
well, if you're looking for gifts, I mean, at this point in Life Day, it's at the very last minute. There's only a few places that might have anything. You could go to the Ring of Kafrine, or you could go to the Spice Terminus. Those are both trade ports. They might have something, but they are very, very dangerous, especially this time of year. People, last minute shopping and everything. The traffic on the trade routes is just terrible. a lot of patrols, lots of monitoring. You're going to have to navigate your own path, that's for sure.
Beegax looks like wipes his face.
Even on Life Day, I gotta deal with this.
Great. So, as you are leaving, as the two of you are headed to the pilot's chair, you bump into Creed. And he's there. He's like covered in stuff. He's got paper cuts all over.
Oh, hey. How are you guys doing? Don't go into the main space, the living space. I'm working on a project there and you can't see. But I'm collecting for the Wookiees, so there's sort of a fun going on. They're having a tough time of it, getting captured, sold into slavery, that kind of thing. War with the Trandoshans. So anything you can give.
And Beegax kind of goes through his vest pockets. This is vest that he haphazardly found, and I'm gonna say that if this is okay, he finds like a cred stick of like 100 a significant amount of credits where he's just like he took it out, but it's too late. You can't put it back in.
Mm-hmm.
He's like,
yep. Oh shit!
Dang it.
Now you know.
I pulled out all my cash.
yeah, it's like a nice chunk of creds, and he just goes,
Yeah, I heard about the fund, so here you go. And
Whoa!
It's the scene from Ghost where Whoopi Goldberg has the check. And
I was just thinking that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, he like grabs onto it and like Beegax is not letting go yet.
Yeah. And he lets go.
That's gonna really help. Yeah, I didn't think you could afford it, but this is the giving season, so that's great, Beegax. Yeah, thank you. So what are you guys doing? You're sticking around, right? We're gonna.
Yeah, we're just, I'm a terrible, what's the word? Life Day celebrator, and I am shopping last minute for my secret Sarlacc. So we gotta make port real quick, and Elo and I are gonna hop off.
Not a big deal. Just, I just got a lot on my mind with getting over a critical injury that, if you look at the book, it says it's pretty significant. And, formulating the crew and all this stuff. So, I also get this feeling that I did something really gnarly last time I was conscious, and I just can't quite remember what it was. Yeah, we're just going to make a quick stop. We'll be right 2 shakes, and we should be right back.
You can see his eye stalks droop a little bit.
But it's Life Day Eve. We were gonna all make a hot cocoa and watch old Hollow vids together. We should all be together. That's what Life Day is about. It's about being together, being with the ones, you care about.
Yeah, that's why I gotta get this gift. I really care about my secret Sarlacc. And he says this gritting his teeth because he knows it's not true. I really gotta get them something special. And, we'll be back. I'm definitely not gonna miss those old Hollow vids because at least half of them are my personal collection and I enjoy those. Especially the one about the 2 guys fighting over that stupid doll. Jedi Man or whatever it is.
Jedi all the way.
Yeah. Definitely one of my favorites, so save that one for me.
Perhaps when we're down there, we can get some more decorations, Creed. Is there anything else we may need for the holiday tomorrow?
We could definitely use some more wrapping paper. I may have gone through a couple of rolls of that, so, just re-up the supply. That kind of,
Yeah, I think we know what you mean. And as Beegax looks down the hall as he says that, and he sees Rat slowly trying to move, but there's paper stuck in his treads.
And tape. We're gonna need more tape.
Okay, I can do that. Not a problem. Just sit tight. Keep doing what you're doing, and we'll bring you the stuff.
You promise? You promise you'll be back, and you'll be back with decorations.
Yep.
Yeah.
You hear from down the hall, Creed! Come up off the ship. We're going to my place. You gotta help me decorate my place. Elo and Beegax got an errand to run. And Creed, his eye stalks perk up, and he's like,
okay, I'll see you soon. You promised, right?
Yeah.
You'll be back okay. Well, stay safe.
And then he turns and runs down the down the hall. And Rat shows up, rolls up.
Beegax will move towards the cockpit with Elo and Rat and look at Elo in the chair. I also want you to practice doing this in case I get shot or something, so you know how to park the ship, so I'm going to supervise this. And he'll look to Rat. Please, go easy on them, alright? Don't give them too much information. I don't know how, when true droids are plugged into the same thing, I don't know how that works.
You hear it beep in droid, and Elo, it translates as, it's way better.
It's way better.
What did he say?
It should be a lot more efficient.
He kind of slowly tilts his head towards Rat. You know what? Maybe I should have just left you on that speeder as it caught on fire and blew up.
It shrugs and turns around to the nav computer and plugs its little prong in.
Grateful bastard.
The rest of the crew leaves the ship. They go off to Verse's place to sort of lay low while the 2 of you go out to take care of this. Aaron.
Oh shit! We're on Socorro. They're gonna stay on Socorro, and we're gonna go somewhere else, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They're off the ship so that you can do this in secret.
I hope there are no pirates in this alternate universe.
You have there's pirates everywhere, baby. This is Star Wars. This is the Outer Rim. Where are you guys going? Let's I'm gonna have Rat do an astrogation check.
Well, are we just? Is there those 2 ports? Those were the closest.
I assume a Socoran gift wouldn't do it for.
There aren't great places to get stuff on Socorro right now, because it's sort of last minute stuff. All of the shops have been cleaned out and their inventory. It's like the PS5 right now. Nobody has.
Don't remind me. Don't talk about it.
Yeah. But there are a couple of like pretty big like trading posts, and one is the Ring of Khafreen, and the other one is the Spice Terminus, which is along the spice trade, where that trade route ends, and there's a lot of like merchants and stuff that gather there because they're like trading and doing stuff like that.
Gotcha.
Are either of those ports, would they have Wookiees, like Wookiee ports?
Oh, good question.
Oh, yeah, that is a very good question. It's more likely that the Spice Terminus would have Wookiees because it is closer to the Kashyyyk, the homeworld of the Wookiees.
Okay. Yeah. I think that's probably our best bet.
Yeah, I think so too.
We see the way like taking off from the planet and shooting off into hyperspace. So what are you guys doing in hyperspace? Is there anything that you have to that you want to like discuss, or anything that you want to make clear, or you have any questions or anything?
I want Elo to, as they're navigating and having Beegax sort of there to watch over their shoulder to make sure that everything's going okay, them just having this ping-pongy conversation of, okay, so what do you know about Creed? What does he like? What's his favorite color? Like just trying to collect all of the information that each of us know about him to sort of formulate what it is we're going to get when we get there.
It's like, well, he likes weapon. Oh, I know he doesn't like weapons. He just has weapons. Like swords and stuff, axes. Favorite color. I think for some reason, I just think puke green. That's like what comes to mind. That's what I envision him wearing most of the time, right? Am I wrong?
Let's go with it. I think you just made two things. You made two things canon for Creed. He wears kind of like a dull green, and he really likes like swords and like big weapons. Like
he's like those guys that collect knives and stuff.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
like ball,
hangs
like
him
ball
on his
ninja
wall.
shit.
Yeah, but he's
So-
like super quiet about it.
Yeah, he's like a super pacifist, but he's like,
I just like them. They're just cool looking.
Yeah.
yeah. So as you're doing this, suddenly, boom, you are dropped out of hyperspace.
What'd you do?
And I'm gonna look at Elo.
I'm not sure. I don't think I hit anything. And they're looking sort of down to see if what's going on, why they stopped.
When you look down, you see two things. You see one, Rat has pulled you out of hyperspace. It was a navigator command, and you also see like a distress signal going off. It's very faint. It's very slight, but it's just sort of like beeping, pinging. And Rat turns around to you and like points that out with his little spindle.
It looks like there's a distress signal.
It's only a distress signal if we look at it.
He's gonna look at Rat and he's gonna say,
Come on, let's go.
Rat looks at you like nonplussed, and it beeps in droid. And Elo, what it translates is distress equals rescue. Rescue equals reward. Reward equals money. And it does that. It does like the money thing with its little spindles.
Beegax looks to Elo.
What is he saying?
It looks like Rat thinks that there may be a reward in terms of rescue.
Long growl as he looks down at Rat.
You're more trouble than you're worth. And that's saying something, because there's a lot of other Crait heads on this crew.
It shrugs again and taps the screen where the distress signal is coming from.
How far
Yeah,
off course is it?
Well, it's actually not too far off course, but you do recognize that it is in the Geonosis system, a system that you have been to before, yeah. And you know that that the Geonosis system is pretty heavily occupied by the Imperial Navy at the moment. However, it seems like the distress signal is not coming from Geonosis, the planet. It's coming from one of its moons.
Let's at least Check it out. It is Life Day Eve.
We'll just do a quick drive-by as they're turning the ship.
Yeah, it's like the ship's turning
Just
like
a
slowly.
quick drive-by.
We'll just take a pass. We'll see how many.
Beegax just makes that noise as it's like turning.
You can just hear his teeth gritting. So, what's your approach here? Because you are coming into planet, and you do know that there are a lot of Imperials around the system, or at least the last time you were here, there certainly were, and like big criffing Star Destroyers. Lots of TIE fighters, that kind of thing.
Beegax will pull out an old Imperial key coder program, one of his slicing programs, and he'll try and make, using his program, like,
Let's see if I can do this.
and try and clickety-clack-clack a new transponder code that is something that's like, oh, these guys are, merchant guild traders passing through.
Got it. You're gonna like scramble the codes, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Roll me, if you wouldn't mind. We'll call it either a core worlds check or education.
They're both the same.
I was gonna say they probably might be the same for you.
But I have a career in education thanks to the education of the ISB.
Oh boy. Well, it's a good thing I remember most of my training.
2 success, 1 advance, or 2 success, 1 threat.
I don't know what that threat is, but we'll get to that. I'll say this. So you're about to scramble these codes, and you know that even though the Empire doesn't officially recognize Wookiee Life Day as a holiday, the security is probably going to be pretty lax a little bit, unofficial holiday parties and people getting drunk and flirting,
Sexual harassment charges being thrown around.
No, God, no. It's all consensual flirting.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I want you to roll me a computer check, a hard check, but you can throw in a blue die because of this knowledge.
Okay. Computers. And Oreo is super into the dice right now. She is looking at me.
I know, I can see her on your lap, like.
Yeah. You're bad luck, Oreo. 1 success. Everything else is a wash.
Whoa! Okay. That's not bad luck.
It looked worse. It looked way worse. Because the blue dice came up empty, so I was like, uh-oh.
Cool, yeah. So you can scramble these codes so that it looks like you plug your deck in, typing away, so that your transponder codes doesn't look like you're the way flying with like known criminal on the lam, Beegax Botano, and the
droid gunslinger.
Yeah, droid accomplice from Bothawui LO. So you come into the Geonosis system, and again, you can see this enormous planet. As you're flying in, you come in as close as you can, you fly in its sublight, and you fly in, you can see the Star Destroyers moving slowly, and again this huge scaffolding, this big circular scaffolding, and it's starting to build up now that you're back. It looks like a ringed space station, but it's enormous. It's almost as big as one of the moons of Geonosis, which is where you are flying. The moon of Bahrin. It's a frozen moon, and as you are going in, that distress signal is getting stronger and stronger as you fly into this moon, and you fly into atmosphere, and there's wind whipping up, this stirring up ice and snow, and there is just nothing but tundra and ice blocks as far as the eye can see on this moon. The surface of it looks almost uninhabitable. Either one of you can roll me a computer check, and we'll call this a hard check. you have to come in, like, if you're looking for this transponder code, you have to, like, come in low and, like, do sort of, like, a sweep on it. You know how in Empire, they, like, on Hoth, they have to, like, fly low to find Luke and Han, you know, to, like, see who they are. So, like, that's kind of what you have to do. The signal's kind of weak, so you're, like, gotta get in there.
You want to roll computers, Jamie?
No, computers is your thing.
Just thought I'd ask. What's the difficulty in this one?
Jamie's a smart player. Smart.
Smart. Is it average, hard?
Hard, so 3 purple.
Fuck. Same thing as last time. 2 success, 3 threat.
Okay. Oh,
So
yeah, and
many
you had a threat
threats.
from
I still have a
before.
threat from last time.
Yeah, that's just 1 threat. You know what? We won't worry about that. But 3 threat. Okay, I know what it is. So you find the signal, and you're able to get as close as you can to it. You land the ship on the surface of the moon, on some ice, and you realize that the signal is coming from beneath you.
So Beegax will tell Elo and Rat.
Signal's coming from underneath. Ice.
He looks at Rat.
Wouldn't happen to have any, like, drilling gear, would ya?
It just spins its like tiny little spindle and like and then it just like shrugs this other, like points to it like, this is all I got, bro.
Alright, maybe there's a way down there.
Perhaps a cave.
Yeah. So I was thinking... Alright, well, I better suit up.
Well, he looks to Elo and Rat. Well,
I better suit up.
and he goes to put on the warmest clothing a dog can wear in Arctic conditions. So I'm assuming he actually has to put on some sort of form of pants, which is very uncomfortable to him.
I was gonna say, so like, yeah, what do you put on? Because you are probably coming from the... I mean, this world is diametrically opposite of what Socorro is. Like, instead of the hot and the sand and the sun, it's nothing but cold, frigid ice and snow. What do you have packed for this?
I mean, he's just gonna have to put on pants. That's the first step. Put on
Pants.
So he puts them on. Make sure to turn on the defroster on the ship, and that's on the entire time, because you don't want those motherfuckers icing over. He'll look for like a coat, and he'll find like, one of those Hoth style coats, but it's old. It's like really old, and it belonged probably to what's his name? His dad's name was
Borsk.
Borsk, yeah, one of Borsk's coats, and he'll like put it on.
Okay, yeah, we could say that. Yeah, we could say Borsk has like an old parka or something. That's like probably way too big for Beegax.
Oh yeah, but that's fine because it stretches over the legs that have just the pants on them. So
Would
good.
you have to wear boots on your...
Gloves, right? You have
Gloves
some kind
at
of,
minimum,
like,
because I think the whole point of boots or those snowshoes is that they cover a wider surface area, so you don't just like sink in. So I assume a Doug's foot is naturally thick and large, so they can easily traverse that kind of terrain. So, yeah, he'll have gloves on at minimum for the feet hands, the ones that are on the ground.
Now, canonically, we know that LO is into fashion, or at least fashionable. So, does LO have any winter duds they are putting on?
You know what? This is a little pocket universe. Elo is going to put on a hand-knit scarf and hat with a little pom-pom on it.
I love it, yes. It's like, and that's the only clothes.
Yeah,
it's like...
just the scarf and a little hat.
Beautiful. I love it. I'm assuming you're stepping out of the ship, right? So, like, ramp comes down, you step out in your winter gear, that wind, it's like below 0 temperatures, and you can see, in fact, they're not so much caves as they are crevices that lead down into the ice. And there is one, like, sort of like by your ship as you've managed to like fly as close as you can to this distress signal. It's too small for your ship to go in, but you could easily get down there.
Okay. So before we take off, you guys can look to Rat.
Keep her running. Don't let anyone else on besides us.
It gives you a little another little salute and like begins lifting the ramp before the two of you are off of it fully.
Whoa, wait.
Elo hops off.
Beegax rolls off.
Boom, lands into the snow.
Face first.
You're at the precipice of this ice cavern, and you can, or this ice crevice, and when you look down, like, you can see it does go into what looks like some kind of cave or something. Like, yeah, some kind of.
Okay.
Well, I suppose we just climb down.
Yeah, we go down.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
All right, tell me what that is. Tell me what you're doing.
How steep is it? Is it steep or is it like?
Yeah, I think it's like straight up.
Maybe if we had some sort of cord, we could rappel our way down.
Okay, sure. Yeah. You've probably got some cord on the ship. Just rip out some wires or something.
Yeah.
Oh,
just
jeez.
rip something out.
Don't need that.
That's
Don't need that one.
No, I'm sure there's some like cord or nylon or something that you can you can use to repel.
I want to feel very Tomb Raider when we're going into this.
Yes,
cavern.
I like that. Give me an athletics check, the two of you.
Okay.
We'll call this average athletics.
1 success.
1 success, 1 advantage.
Okay, so like a mechanical Lara Croft, LO just like repels down with me. It's like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like it's like you like tie up and then you just like jump and it's just like one touch of the wall and then down.
Yes. And there's some like heavy trap music in the background as I'm like
Yeah, and we cut to slow motion real quick and like suddenly LO is like upside down and like spinning like a Cirque du Soleil.
Yep.
Doves flying around.
Yeah. Yeah, doves.
I think Beegax is the opposite. He's taking it much slower. He's like, ah. And every time he hits the wall, so it's like, ah. Oh. Keep going down until he reaches the level where the cavern is. He's just like, his feet touch the ground. He grips his side, looking up back up.
Just let me die here. I can't go back up.
I'll say you got an advantage, so do you want to do anything with that, or do you want to have that have an effect?
I'd like to think he finds one of those like future, like those cool Star Wars looking torches in the ground nearby, like a light source.
Yeah. Okay.
You know,
yeah.
the ones that they have to hold up, and it's got the shiny end, like the outwards facing flashlights. They exist in real life, but the ones in Star Wars just look so much cooler.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that. That is cool. I like that. So yeah, you pull one out of the snow. And you like hit it a few times and turn it on, and it like occurs to the two of you like, what's this torch doing down here? Like, why is there just this equipment?
How is it here?
Yeah. But as you turn it on, it like illuminates the cavern, and you can see it's got sort of like that like blue light, that like deep blue diffused light that like ice structures have, you know, and it fades off into darkness, cold darkness off into these caves. But you have this like beacon of this like soft light here that you can sort of illuminate things. And as you come down here, you can see that there is an escape pod that's down here as well. And it looks like it has taken some damage. It's probably where this equipment like has come from. In fact, you can see there's like a trail of like bits and flotsam and like broken equipment and stuff that's like trailing back to this escape pod. You can hear, now that you're down here, sort of like reverberating through here, a sound that kind of sounds like a lamentation, and it sort of sounds like, let me see if I can do it.
Yeah, looks at hello.
What's that?
It sounds like something's down here.
Yeah.
And Ella will continue to take further steps in trying to locate where this sound is coming from.
It sounds like it's coming from the escape pod, and you can roll me a xenology check if you would like. Let's call it an average check.
2 successes, 3 threats. What if, because we're in a cavern and it's icy, there's like spiky ices on the ceiling? That's threatening.
Spiky ices.
Spiky ices, you know.
I love that. That's very cool. Yeah, there's spiky ices, stalactites, right? Stalactites.
One of them's on the floor, one of them's on the ceiling. Mites, tights.
Yeah,
Why don't you, the audience, tell us which one's which by writing in.
I think it's stalactites hang tightly to the ceiling. Stalagmites might grow up to the ceiling. I think it's ice. Yeah. Okay, so yeah. Spiky. We all know the scientific term is spiky icy.
That's what I thought you would know. Obviously. The scientific terminology. So I just went there immediately.
Clear. Yeah. No. Say no more. We all understand exactly what. So there's those up there. Yeah. As you hear the sound reverberate through the cavern, it draws your eyes up to these spiky ice points that are pointing down at you, and you know that sound is a Wookiee. Like it's a Wookiee. It sounds young. And it's coming from the escape pod.
They could be hurt. And Elo is going to continue to now more cautiously walk towards this pod.
Yeah, Beegax behind them, like,
Wait. Slow down.
they like cautiously approach.
This thing, what if it's like a monster or something?
I'm quite sure that it's actually a Wookiee. Based on the sound, it sounds quite young.
Ah, okay. That makes it a lot different.
Beegax straightens up. And he'll call out to the pod.
Hey! Kid! I hope it's a kid. You said young, right?
So he just calls out again.
Hey, kid! You okay in there?
The sound stops, and there's no response.
Griff. Look! My buddy and I, we're coming up to your pod. We don't mean you any harm. We'll make sure you're okay. It's kind of cold down here, and you probably shouldn't be here.
We're here to help.
Yeah, that's what they said.
You each slowly approach the pod, crunching snow and ice under your feet, saying these words of encouragement and hey, we're not here. We're here to help. As you come to the entrance of the pod, you can look in, and it's not very big. It's probably big enough for 2 or 3 people. And inside, you can see a hairy little face that's sort of covered by a blanket, and looking out from this fur. The fur's kind of matted and a little bit dirty. Big wet eyes and a big wet nose, and it looks like a really young Wookiee girl. And she is clutching what looks like a chunk of a meteorite. And it's emitting this warm light, this soft light. And as you come up to it, you can also, it is actually emanating heat as well, just very faintly. But Elo, you can probably see this in your sensors, you can see it is emitting both heat and light. And she is clinging to this thing, and as you come up to the entrance of this, she backs up, holding this thing with this blanket towards the wall of the pod as far away as she can. And as she does this, you can also see there is a body that is just slumped over to the side here, with the distress beacon sort of flashing, and they're just holding. It looks like a human man, not dressed in anything that's descriptive, not anything that identifies them or identifies him. And yeah, she pulls back.
Beegax looks to Elo.
You, I don't believe I've never asked you this, but you speak different languages or just a handful?
I would think Elo knows a few languages, probably the ones most prominent in trade.
I think what we should do is this. I think we'll do it the way Star Wars does it, where Wookiees speak Wookiee, but everyone seems to understand them, and they seem to understand basic, So cool. you can understand, if you were to speak to this Wookiee, you could understand what they were saying. And instead of doing the sound and torturing you for this and listeners, I'll just translate what it would be saying. Yeah.
Do you need help? I have medicine.
You hear her growl in sort of like a frantic, scared voice, like, "Who are you?"
My name is Elo, and this is Beegax.
Hey, nice to meet you, kid. You look like you could use some help.
And you can see her like clutching this rock even closer, and her eyes, her like big eyes are sort of like darting back and forth, and she like growls kind of softly, like, "Are you stuck here too?"
No. We were flying. Gonna go buy a friend of ours a Life Day gift, and we got a ping on your distress beacon here. So we knew someone was in trouble, and came down to help out.
When you say Life Day, like, you can see recognition in her eyes, like, and I think she's like, I think she starts crying. I think you can see like like some tears like pooling up and like wetting her fur around her eyes, and she starts like sniffing, like, and she asks, where did you come from?
Well, we're not originally from there, but Socorro. It's a planet that's like a desert. It's awful. It's hot. There's 2 suns.
She sort of like growls kind of softly, and she's like, "I don't want to go to Socorro. I only want to go back home."
Okay. Is your home the Wookiee place? Kashyyyk?
She nods, like, emphatically.
Oh, boy.
He looks
Where's
at Elo.
that? In comparison to where we are, where's that?
Yeah.
Kashyyyk is, I mean, you could get there. It's like space north, I guess, of where you are. It's closer to Bothawui than it is to where you are
back
now.
Home. Loop de loop.
Well, we can take her home after Life Day, because we can't break our promise to Crait.
She wants to be home for Life Day.
Well, do you want to ride or not?
Beegax will look at this Wookiee child.
Yeah, Kashyyyk. We can do Kashyyyk. It'll take a little bit. We got some other things we gotta do. Actually,
He's gonna point to that rock that she has.
where'd you get that?
She points out just outside the pod, sort of like, and if you look back, you can see there's sort of like a vent that it has the same soft glowing light. But yeah, she points out there. But then she says, "But I don't go out there. I don't try to leave the pod because they can't get in here."
Beegax lowers it.
They?
And then she, like, real low, she growls something in Wookiee, and there's no one-to-one translate for it in basic, but the rough translation is the monsters or the predators.
Okay.
She reiterates again, like, "I only want to go home. I don't want to go. People have taken me all over the place, everywhere but home. I don't want to go to Socorro. I want to go to Kashyyyk."
Okay. We'll get you there. We'll get you to Kashyyyk. But I have one request, kid.
She she pulls the blanket off of her head.
I want that rock you got there.
She makes a scowl and holds it close. "I knew it. You're no different. You just want to take things."
I'm trading. This isn't a take. I'm asking you for the rock. You can hold on to it as long as you're on the ship and we take you home, but the minute we get you home, you hand it over as, let's call it, a ticket, like when you go on a shuttle.
Roll me a negotiation check. Let's call it, I think it's an average check. Shit. But I'm gonna flip a dark side point. And I'm gonna upgrade that to a red, so that'll be a red and a purple.
and I'm rolling a green and a yellow.
Oh, really? Oh, hey.
The diametrically opposed set. No. Nothing. Everything cancels each other out.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
She shakes her head and like pulls back from the two of you, clutching the rock even tighter, and she does like a she like does a Wookiee that echoes out into the cave, and she's saying it's like no, basically, and you can hear it echoing.
We could try to bluff. Like, okay, we will leave you here. We thought you might be hungry, but I suppose you'd like to stay in this ice and tundra instead.
Whoa, hello. Are you doing it? Are you saying it?
Yeah, why not? Elo is going to, after this Wookiee girl screams out, is going to sort of kneel down a little closer to her. We want to help. We can see you are in distress, and it looks like you may be hungry. However, we have promised our friends that we would be back for Life Day. And though we would really like to take you along with us, if you would prefer to stay here alone on this frozen tundra, then I suppose we cannot force you to come with us. And Ella will slowly stand up. You're more than welcome to come, but it will be on our terms.
Roll me a coercion check, and and you can throw in a blue die because you are scaring a child.
I'm not trying to intimidate. I'm trying to like psychologically trick her into being like, well, I want to go.
We'll call it average with a blue die.
Okay. 3 advantages, 1 failure. Oh no!
This girl's want to go.
I should have flipped the light side.
Stubborn Wookiee, man. She doesn't want to do nothing.
Yeah, it seems like you are not getting this child to hand over that stone for a trip. She seems stubborn, and she pulls the blanket back like around to like close you out from this engagement. But you do have 3 advantages. What do we think those are? Because that's not nothing.
I'm not sure.
I have an idea for one of them.
Okay.
There's maybe like a look exchange between the two of you, and then you begin to hear some like booming, large, stomping footsteps coming from one of the dark ends of this ice cave.
Ella's gonna direct their attention over to wherever that sound is coming from, and we'll probably step away from this little girl to see what this noise is. Yeah,
I think maybe that's with 3 advantages. I think that's for both of you. This could be like getting ready for whatever is about to happen. Maybe like taking an action or something to like set something up. Yeah. What did the two of you do?
I'm not sure. It's hard to know without knowing what's going to happen.
I gotcha. Okay.
I was like, well, it could be a giant abdominal snowman. Abominable, not abdominal. Though I would be totally into that too.
Yeah, that's when the snowman like bursts out of your chest like an alien.
Yeah.
But he's got an 8-pack.
Something steps out into the lighter area of this cave, and it looks like a massive kind of a 4-legged lizard creature. It's got like a long tail and like 4 big stompy feet that's stomping around, and then it has sort of like a flat-topped head and a big beak that has sort of like protrusions, like horns up on the top of its nose and the bottom of its lower jaw. So it sort of like makes its face look like a tool that could like smash ice, sort of like a snowplow almost. And it comes out and is like sniffing around. It's all white too.
Beegax looks to the Wookiee girl.
Stay in here. Don't open it unless we come back.
And he's gonna like hit the button and the pod door closes in whatever manner it opened first. He'll pull out his gun, his disruptor pistol, look to LO, and say,
well, this is not what I expected for vacation or holiday.
I hope we're back in time. And Elo is going to pull out their weapon as well. And sort of charge it up.
If we're not back in time, the alternative is we die. So.
Happy Life Day.
Let's roll some initiative.
Two success, please.
1 success, 1 advantage. So just 1 success.
Oh, yo, I got a triumph.
What? That's okay.
right.
You can get that for initiative. That's
I know, right? At the top of the round is an NPC and then PC slot. So we'll say you're probably like medium range from this thing at the moment. It is going to, well, you know what? It's its turn. So it's just going to get up right on top of you. Absolutely, that's what it can do. Cool. So this thing, like, you like cock your pistols, you're all standing there all cool in front of the, and it, like, I imagine the camera like cuts to the two of you like with your weapons out, like, and the camera's behind you, like looking up, and this thing like roars, and it just starts like doing that weird lizard swivel walk where it like starts running at you, and it like, and now it's up on top of you. So now you are engaged with this thing, and that's all it's going to do on its turn. It is to a PC slot.
After you, Elo.
So what are you doing, Elo?
We're gonna kill the Christmas lizard.
Yeah, Christmas lizard has to die.
Or Life Day lizard.
Life Day lizard.
The alliteration is way better for Life Day lizard, so.
Life Day Lizard.
Good old LDL.
So I'll use a maneuver to sort of dodge out of the way of this. What is this called, this lizard thing? Just Life Day lizard? Larry, the Life Day lizard?
I mean, I love Life Day Lizard, and
Okay.
and that in Star Wars it is called a bonzami.
Bonzami, okay.
Yeah, it is a bonzami lizard.
Well, Ella's gonna sort of dodge out of the way of this bonzami lizard and is going to sort of like circle back around and try to fire.
Okay, cool. So give me a ranged light. I believe short range is a single die,
Single
Uh,
purple?
single purple. Yeah.
Okay. Oh my gosh, Stormageddon, please don't. 2 advantages.
Do you have an idea of how you want to spend those?
Yes, but can we do the flavor together? I want some of the ice spikies to fall and sort of like entrap this creature in wherever they are, so they can't like something with the ice sharpies. I want to bring those back in.
Okay. Oh, I love that. I love that.
Elo's shot is going to ricochet off some of this ice and cause some vibration in the walls to shoot some of these icicles down onto the ground, onto this Life Day lizard.
And they like smash to the floor in front of it, and it like rears up. It is next to the next PC slot.
Okay, Beegax is underneath this thing still. As Elo runs, shoots, causes the ice spikes, these stalactites to trap this creature. And he goes like,
I'm still here.
and like he has to like, I guess move. I'm gonna use a maneuver to move.
Yep.
Still within range, but not underneath the damn thing. And specifically, I'm gonna aim for a leg. But I mean, let's even see if I can do that right. Oh, triumph!
Woo!
Oh, man!
Triumph and the success and an advantage.
You are on a streak, my dude. So that is a critical hit.
Yes, vicious 4, right? Any critical? Yeah.
So that means that I add 40 to the roll. So I'm going to do that right now with some percentage dice. Let's see what happens. 61. So that's 101. Ooh, that's not good.
Any critical injury results are changed to crippled unless the result is more grievous.
101 is just like one step above crippled, so this is worse. This creature is maimed. One of the target's limbs selected by the GM, but you called a shot, so we'll go ahead and say, oh, the leg is permanently lost. All actions gain a black die. Ooh, that's not good. So tell us what it looks like when you shoot off this creature's one of its legs.
So Beegax is running while this thing is above it, and I envision the creature like being crazy and trying to hit it with its limbs, even though it's kind of been pinned together by the stalactites from above. And Beegax turns around quickly, points the gun at like the first limb he sees, one of the front legs, and just disruptor pistol blast directly to, let's say, one of the joints, and it instantly vaporizes the joint and then parts of the leg before it stops up to like the upper section of the limb. And it looks furious, and Beegax is like,
All right.
That is awesome. Yeah, it gives out a terrifyingly chilling cry in this ice cave. It's going to maneuver over to Beegax, who's stepped back to fire, and just take a big ol' bite with this huge beak-like mouth that's coming at him, but with a lot of black die. So I got one from LO, one from maimed, one success, 2 advantages.
oh my god.
So it bites at you, and it like slams into you with this like snowplow of a mouth. It doesn't like find purchase with its sharp teeth, but it bludgeons you really hard, and you take 2 advantages, right? Yes. You take 8 damage.
Reduced to 4 because of soak.
It is to a PC slot.
I'm just going to, or Elo is going to try and get this lizard from the other side. So it's busy attacking Beegax. I'm going to come at it from behind and try to fire.
Give me that roll again. Ranged light 1, but you do have a black die from its advantages. So we'll say those ice spikes work both ways. Now it sort of like blocked it off from you, but now it's creating like difficult terrain to try and shoot around.
Okay. And just because I want to upgrade one of my dice.
With a light side point.
Yes.
Okay, got it. Very cool. So yeah, flipping one of those, we got 4 light side, 2 dark side, and upgrade one of your die.
Come on!
That didn't sound good.
1 advantage, 1 failure.
No.
This place is gonna come down.
Unlucky roll. Let's say, well, what do you want that advantage to be?
I'm not sure. Any thoughts?
You can just provide a blue die to the next allied check. So,
I'll do that.
Okay. And Beegax, it is to you.
Okay, he got bit bashed, and this thing's face is like up close to him, right? Or at least close-ish.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
He's just gonna take a shot right at its face.
Okay. Do you want to do it like right up there, or do you want to maneuver back so that you don't have any penalties?
Do I get disadvantage for being so close?
Yeah, the difficulty would go up by a die.
Oof.
So.
No. Yeah, I'll move.
So I imagine now that the 2 of you are sort of like flanking it now. So Beegax is sort of like furthest away from the escape pod, and LO is standing, and there's like icicles and stuff, and you guys are sort of like flanking this thing. Yeah, go ahead and roll me range light, 1 difficulty die, and add a blue die.
1 success.
11 damage, I believe. Then we are to the top of the round. So as I said before, we've got LO closest to the pod. The pod door is closed. There's some icicles that have fallen from the roof. There's this Life Day lizard snarling and like bashing its face around, trying to like hit Beegax as he rolls his way to the other side of it and firing on it with this disruptor pistol. And it gives out another like monstrous roar. And you hear and LO, you turn around and you look over your shoulder and you see coming out from the other end of this ice cavern is another one of these Life Day lizards. And it like does the weird like lizard wiggle walk and rolls up to you and gonna do a bite. Try and do a bite. So many successes.
No.
That is 5 successes, 1 threat. That is going to be 12 damage.
Wow.
Wow, my soak is 4. So 8.
Oh my god.
And you are disoriented by this bite. It smacks you around, and you now have a black die to your next check. Cool, so that's that one. Then the second one is going to do a bite onto Beegax. And, oh, that's a lot of successes too.
No.
4 successes and 2 advantages. So that is going to be 11 damage.
With a soak of 4. Okay, I have 1 HP left. Oh my god.
Are we gonna die on the Christmas special?
We're gonna die on the Life Day special.
It is to a PC slot.
Hello, heal yourself.
I don't know if I have anything to heal myself.
I'm looking at 4 light side points. We've established there's like equipment strewn out all around, this place. So make some shit up. Do with what you will.
I feel like I should come heal you. I have 4 left. You only have 1. I'm gonna use a maneuver to go up to Beegax and do a...
Because Beegax is on the other side of this thing now, I think in order to get to him, you will have to use 2 maneuvers. So you can use 2 maneuvers and take some strain and still have an action, or you can use 2 maneuvers, take no strain, but have no action.
I'll take the strain and still have my action because I do want to use my action to heal.
Got it. Okay, so yeah, 2 strain as you like run by this, or no, I imagine like sliding under it.
Yes.
Tomb Raider style.
100% correct. And because it's all icy, and it's like ice slide. I'm feeling very Tomb Raider, very Elsa from Frozen. We have a hybrid going on.
Yes, you're just feeling the fantasy. I love it. So that would be a hard medical roll.
I have a black die.
Yes, for all skill checks. Yeah, you do have a black die.
Okay, well, my dice have been great so far. 1 success, 1 triumph, 2 threats.
Oh, dang! That's a crit. We gotta respect that crit. What a... Gosh dang, your luck is insane. Wow, okay. That's a triumph? What do we think that is? Like, that's pretty big. I was gonna pitch, I think, I mean, my knee jerk is that's like a full-on heal, like straight up to the top,
I'm in for that, yes, that sounds great.
But I'll only allow that if you describe it super cool.
Oh gosh, okay. Okay, here we go. This ice slide underneath this Life Day lizard is very reminiscent of the scene from Fast and Furious where they're going under the semi-truck. And it slows down as you see the skid of the ice off of Ello's metal exterior just sort of like shoot off those sparks off of the ground. And Ello is going to somersault by Beegax's side and immediately just sort of jab him right in the chest with this healing serum. And he is going to feel immediately rejuvenated.
We see like a heartbeat line like show up behind him as he like boom boom, like a real spike of adrenaline.
His eyes dilate and it's just
What's happening?
Barney gets in on it hard too. It's like it's almost sort of like revenge for getting shot by Beegax so long ago. It just like needle comes out and the two of you like stick it in his neck at the same time.
At the same time, yes.
Yeah. That's cool. Okay, yeah, Beegax, you're up to full health.
Oh, thanks.
He looks at Barney and
it's
like floating around him.
It immediately backs off, by the way. Barney, like immediately.
Beegax has his blaster and he points it at Barney because Barney's in front and he like moves out of the way. He takes another shot at the injured lizard. Okay, sweet. No successes. 3 advantage.
3 advantage. Okay, that's not nothing. So what do you want to do with those?
Because it's not that far, but he misses it.
He's like, Griff.
And the blaster shot kind of flies out of the cavern. And I want to say Rat on board the ship sees the laser blast. Like he's busy just like in the cockpit like jamming out to whatever music droids listen to. He's just like and he sees through the windshield just like a laser shot flies out of the cavern. And he is alerted that like, oh, something's going on down here. Like he knows that there's some problems. I'm gonna flip, if I can, a light side point and say that in this alternate universe, we have some kind of, I don't know, this might not be, it might be too much for it, but like, there's like a defense mechanism for the ship when no one's on board, and it'll like launch these little, almost like mini Barneys. There's like little like emergency Barneys that are supposed to be like anti-missile chaff or whatever they're called. Like,
oh,
you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. It's like disruptor stuff. Yeah.
Like it'll launch these little duders out, and they just, in this case, since I can't make them do anything crazy. Maybe they're like a distraction. Like they hover towards us and they just act as like disadvantage for these guys when they're trying to attack us. Like they just get away.
Yeah, you can spend all your advantages on that. Yeah, we'll upgrade the target difficulty of their next like check on that. Because what I think it is those things that usually come out to like deflect missiles are like flares and stuff. So maybe that's what it is like Rat sees that, it like shakes its head and is like, God, you can't not get into trouble. Hits this thing and like a bunch of flares come out and they're like falling down into this ice cave now, like burning real slow and like creating a difficulty for these lizards. Awesome turn. Top of the round. First lizard spends its turn maneuvering into range to the two of you. That is all it can do. Next lizard, the injured lizard. It is going to bite down on Beegax again. Try and get this friggin' for shooting off its leg. So
I'm at full health. Lizard, please don't kill me, lizard. Please.
Failure with 4 advantages. I think what it does, it slams its face down onto the ground to try and bite Beegax. Misses Beegax, but it does do it in between the two of you, so now it's like separated you, and a bunch more of those ice spikes are like shooting down. So now we're like falling down. So we have like ice spikes that are like coming down, as well as these flares, these like red flares that are like slowly falling. So a bunch of stuff is like coming down into this ice cave, and that's going to be an upgraded check to the next PC as well. And then it is to a PC slot.
Having this come right down between Elo and Beegax, Elo is going to sort of roll off to the side and will fire on this wounded lizard.
That's going to be an upgraded check, so that's going to be a red and a purple, but you do not have a black die.
2 success, 1 threat.
Nice. Okay, that was a tough roll too with those dice. Yeah. What does it look like when you blast this lizard to death?
Oh, fun. Well, Elo rolled out of the way and fired through this lizard that is going to turn to dust. And you just sort of see Elo through the dust, now aiming at this second lizard. So the second lizard sort of like comes through the mist of this first lizard.
Oh, that's grisly. I love it. Yeah, this big creature, and it's like it is a full-on size bigger than the two of you. Just like it's probably like you shoot it on the inside, like it opens up its mouth and you like shoot with your disintegrator pistol into its mouth, and it like travels like torpedoes travel down a Death Star chute, and then just like like dissipate into nothing as this lizard slams on through. Then it is to the next PC.
Beegax sees this.
Happy life day, you turd.
He'll look at the other. It's like he didn't know that there was another lizard behind it until that one died, and he sees it. And he's like, "Oh, Griff." He's gonna move to the pod. And can I open the pod door and not use an action? Can it still be part of the maneuver, or does it count as an action?
Let's see, because you both were on the far end of this pod, so you do have to use 2 maneuvers to get over to the pod.
Oh, all right. Well, then I'll move with 1 maneuver on my way to the pod, and then fire at the new lizard, because I want to try and get to. So before I leave, I'll tell Elo,
I'm gonna get the kid. Let's focus on that one.
And he'll maneuver, stop halfway, or whatever mechanically it looks like when he gets halfway point, and then fire at the lizard, second lizard.
Okay, cool. So yeah, Beegax like Dark Souls rolls past this giant lizard, and comes back up on his I want to say knee, but it's not really a knee. It's like it would be like an elbow or something, right?
Yeah, because they bend the other way.
And like comes back up, pistol ready, shouts this at LO. Go ahead, give me that roll.
2 failures, 4 advantage.
So failure for the hit, but for advantage, I mean, you could take it. You could take another maneuver if you wanted. Get over.
Yeah. Then I'll use it. I'll use it to reach the pod.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you reach the pod. Now it is to this lizard, and it is again flanked, and it's like stomping around and spinning around. The most immediate threat in front of it is LO. So it is going to take a bite on LO. This is respect the crit, and we gotta respect that crit.
No.
Oh my gosh.
5 successes and a triumph. So that's going to be 12 damage.
I'm down.
You are disoriented again, and I need you to roll percentage die for me for a critical injury. Oh, no.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
I have my armor. I have
That's
special
right.
armor.
Yeah, so your armor, the quality of it just degrades 1 level. So now you've got 1 hit left of that armor, yeah. So I think what happens is this thing, it finally, like, it's been slamming their heads around and like getting it around, but it actually gets a bite on LO now. And Beegax, you see this as you like go for the pod. It like does a big chomp, and like there's sparks and fluid leaking out as it bites into LO, and then like pulls its neck back and its face back, and LO just like falls down into the snow. And that's what you see, Beegax. And then it is to a PC slot.
I'm gonna open the pod door, and I'm gonna look at the Wookiee kid. I'm gonna say,
Not a lot of time. Let's go, kid. Come on. Change our minds. You're coming with us. We're taking you home.
You say this as the pod door is open, and you see the Wookiee. Now the blanket is off of them. They are still clutching that rock. They're standing up in the pod. Their eyes are closed, and they are reaching their hand out towards you, but then you feel something.
oh no.
And
Oh my god.
it's almost sort of gentle in nature, and you like feel like connected in a way to this child. And but all they're doing is just standing there. And then our camera like rack focuses off of Beegax a little bit, and we see this life day lizard just like slowly like lifting up off of the ground, its little leggies like flipping around, and its head turning in confusion, and it begins to float in the air.
Beegax sees this.
Oh, Griff. Well, still not a friend of it.
So he'll shoot it as it's in the air.
Excellent. Please roll me that. The difficulty of it is actually 2, because you're at a longer range from it. But yeah, I would say that you have, let's call it 2 blue die to having an advantage there.
Let's do it. That's 4 success and 1 threat.
We'll say the threat is like you've never seen anything like this before. Okay, so you fire a blast. It hits squarely into this thing, into the flank of this lizard. Beegax, tell us what it looks like when you blast this lizard to death flying up in the air.
So it's being lifted up by this force-wielding Wookiee child.
Yeah, and I think there's other things, like all this stuff was falling into the cavern. Now it's all suspended. There's like flares and icicles.
Flares.
Yeah.
Cool.
And everything is just kind of being lifted up.
Beegax sees all this around him and he doesn't let it detract. Like, no, this thing almost killed my friend, who's now short-circuiting on the ground. So he's taking the time to aim, and his breath slows down, and he fires it off, and it hits it on like on its lower beak mandible thing, and it just, not only does it go into that, but it like kind of collapses most of it and shatters parts of it, so it's like going into it and exploding outward. So although there is the force lifting things up, I'd say there's like pieces of its lower mandible just like also they were gonna fall off, but because this Wookiee's lifting everything up, it's like it comes out and begins to float along with the rest of it up.
Oh, good. It's super grisly. It's like a Dead Space death.
Yep. Yeah, just floating there.
Great. It's like a necromorph. I love it. That's cool. Yeah. And so it floats there for a second, and then and it tries to cry out. It's like a wet, gurgled, struggled cry because it no longer has part of its face. And then it just boom, like it falls from this floating in the air. The stalactites collide with it, flares fall down around it, and it just hits the ground, and its neck just like boom, like slumps over, dead into the snow of this thing, and the Wookiee just collapses onto her knees in the coils of this blanket, breathing hard.
I think Beegax would rush over to Elo and like pick them up.
Hey, come on, get up.
Elo would groggily and very disorientedly get up off of the ground and is just going to be saying not what sounds like nonsense, like, did you pack the peanut butter? And the most random things.
And it's all about peanut butter.
Every single thing coming out of their mouth is about peanut butter. Chunky or not.
Salted, unsalted.
Beegax is like,
What the criff? What the criff is peanut butter? What is that? I don't even...
And they'll need some guidance in terms of direction, probably, but is mostly just going to be sort of absent-mindedly a little delirious.
Okay, just stay close.
and he'll walk over to the Wookiee in the pod and like approach very carefully.
Hey kid, you alright?
And he's gonna put like a hand on her shoulder, like very slowly put it on there, like
Hey.
You can feel like her muscles tense under the fur, but there's no other resistance that's offered because she's just kind of like looks exhausted, and she looks up at the two of you and growls really low and out of breath. I'm not Kid, my name's Bati, and I want to go home.
Okay, Bati. Yeah, we'll get you home. You can hold on to the rock. Don't worry about it.
he looks back at the now two carcasses of these things outside.
Technically, I mean that basically is your ticket right there.
And so he'll try and get her up and then walk her off the pod, but he'll look back at the dead humanoid in there.
You need me to do something about that, Bati? You want me to bury him or something?
She looks up at you and she shakes her head, but she does like break away from you for a second and go to the body and just kind of like kneel in front of it for like a couple of seconds, like bows her head and like puts a little furry hand on the shoe or something, and then stands up and she's like, I'm ready.
Okay.
Beegax looks back and like slowly walks back to the pod and says
One more thing.
He turns off the distress beacon, just like
I don't need anyone coming here meeting the same fate.
He'll carefully walk with Elo, like have a hand on them so that they don't wander off, because I envision them kind of like jittery walking, like
Peanut butter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like keeping sure that Bati is close by as well and gets back to the ship, and he'll radio Rat, open up.
As you're radioing this, our camera's on, like the distress beacon that the now silent distress beacon that Beegax turned off like sort of in the foreground, and the three of you walking away. Beegax kind of like helping Elo up in the middle, and then just like sort of holding this Wookiee's hand, who's pretty much about as big as Beegax in terms of size. And then we screen wipe. You are back aboard the Way, traveling back in hyperspace. Where are you going?
Kashyyyk. I think there's no ifs and or buts about this. Like Beegax, he owes another creature a life debt because this Wookiee saved his life. I would say he put Elo in the medic bay, like on the table. He's like, we'll patch you up later, but he's making sure everything's up front. He's like setting everything up, looking at Rat, yelling at Rat, like,
Okay, don't make sure that we're getting to Kashyyyk. No pit stops, no distress signals anymore, please. It's important.
It shrugs, but it also does rubs its little prongs together, like, where's the money?
Well, guess what, Rat? Not all distress signals have money behind them, buddy. That's what I was trying to tell you earlier, but you wouldn't listen because
he'll like knock on his little head.
because nothing gets through that thick iron plate you got there.
It like throws up its prongs, like, and then like spins around and puts in Kashyyyk. Shoom! Your YT-2400 pops out, and you're at Kashyyyk. It's this beautiful green planet, couple of moons, and it's full of forest, like, again, like so diametrically opposite to Socorro, where you've been spending a lot of your time, or even Bothawi, or even Malastare. Like, it's so lush here, and you almost even have trouble, like, getting your ship coming down into atmosphere, navigating it towards the area that Bati guides you to bring her home. But you are able to do that, and we do another screen wipe, and I think the two of you are up in this like Wookiee tree fort, towering up in the trees, and these huge green trees, and like the air smells so fresh. And we see like these Wookiees reuniting, like Bati like comes in and like flings open the door, and like these Wookiees are like hugging. There's like a real tree that's like in their house, and it's like decorated in like a traditional Wookiee manner. It looks so festive, and like you can see like the looks on their faces immediately brighten, and like the whole room just becomes warmer and lighter as this Wookiee family like comes together and like hugs around this tiny little Wookiee, and this big rock that they're hugging. They like drop it, and like there's this huge fur pile, and the two of you are like walking through into this abode. Like one of the elder Wookiees like looks up and like and like gestures you come inside.
Okay, yeah, sure. Come on, hello.
I assume by now I want to say I helped fix the peanut butter virus.
Yeah.
As best I could. I walk in. Beegax looks around the house, looks at the rock that's in the ground, and slowly grabs it, but then hands it back to the kid. Like,
you dropped it.
She like looks at it in your hands, and then just sort of like looks up at you and hands it back, like offering it back to you. This is for bringing me back to my family on Life Day. Please take it.
He takes it.
Yeah, no problem. Wait, did you say today's Life Day?
And you look around, and it dawns on you, like, it is so close to Life Day right now. Like, it is like Life Day is happening. Like, the morning is dawning on Kashyyyk, and even though they're like different planets, like, oh boy. And she like looks up and smiles, and she's like, yeah, it's almost Life Day morning.
We are gonna miss a very important appointment.
And he looks to the rest of the Wookiee family.
I'm sorry, hey, you guys have like a native thing on Kashyyyk that's like a gift for outsiders, like, I don't know, like a baby tree or a twig or something?
yeah, the one of the Wookiees like gestures and like walks over to the tree that's like a traditional Life Day tree, and he just like breaks off a chunk of it and like puts it in a like a little planter potter, and he like hands it over to you.
Oh, thank you so much.
And I have the rock and the plant pot in my hands. I look at Elo.
Hey, we gotta go.
Elo is going to look around the room and sort of give a gentle wave to this Wookiee family. And thank you for inviting us into your home. It's time for us to go now. And it's just going to leave.
They grab Elo and give them such a hug, like such a warm, before they even get out the door, like just a big Wookiee hug. Like,
oh.
They grab and they pick up Beegax and like give him a huge Wookiee hug, like, and yeah, they're like, they say in Wookiee, like, you better get going. Like, the most important thing is to be with the people you care about on Life Day.
Okay, thank you so much.
As he's being hugged. Running back to the ship, yelling, messaging Rat.
Get it started. We're late.
The ship spools up. The two of you are on there now. This is important. There is a way to get from Kashyyyk all the way to Socorro, but no one's ever done the Life Day run in less than 12 parsecs. No one's ever done it, but this might be the first. If you can slingshot around, there's like a black hole anomaly or something. If you can use that gravity to slingshot around, there's a way to make it before Life Day begins proper on Socorro. So I need you to make the most important piloting check of your life.
This is the one time I'm not going to get my triumph one.
Use them points though. I think we still have some, don't we?
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
you
so
have
I'm gonna use
4 points, and I'm going to allow this one Life Day miracle. You can use all 4 points at once.
I only need 2 to get 3 yellows.
Well, you can use the extra 2 for more yellows.
Okay. Well, I'll use one at a time, right? I use 1, and now I have 2 yellow, 1 green. I use another 1, and now I have 3 yellows, and then I have 2 more points.
If you use 2 more points, you get another yellow die.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay.
We've got to make it home before Life Day.
So go ahead and make me, well, let's call it a hard piloting check. Throw a blue die because Rat is assisting you with astral navigation.
Rat, don't let me down, Rat. Come on, old buddy, don't let me down. Oh no. So that is cancel. 1 success.
Just one success?
Yes! It's a Life Day miracle.
Awesome. So here's what I'm going to need from the two of you. I'm going to need how this starts out, the trip. Then I'm going to need one of you to describe hitting this black hole and like slingshotting around it as you're using its gravity. And then I'm going to need someone to describe flying into Socorro and landing at just before the sun hits where you guys are. So go ahead.
I'll start with us running onto the ship. Thing closes. I'm yelling at Rat before I even make it to the cockpit. Yes, Beegax is just like,
Rat, this is your fault somehow. I don't know how, but this is all your fault.
and he's like flipping switches, turning things on. You hear the engine hum begin. Everything begins to turn on, whatever sound effects you want to throw in here. And it's Rat like also beeping at him and whatever, curse words that droids know. And he's just like, shut up, I know! And he punches it and the ship takes off as we head into space. He'll see on the map the black hole, like the black hole route charted out, and he looks at it, looks back to the main windshield.
No, we're not doing that. No, we can't.
And he keeps looking back at it.
No.
He looks to Rat.
Rat shrugs, like in his signature shrug, in a way that's sort of like, that's the only way, buddy.
And you hear him like audibly just guttural growl. He looks to Rat.
If we die because of this, I'm gonna haunt you, or at least bring you into whatever realm sentient beings go to when they die to make sure you experience the same pain I feel. You understand?
Rat's reply is it clicks in a seatbelt and then just turns to the navigator.
Beegax inputs the coordinates to the black hole, yells back to Elo, who I believe is in the seat behind him, just like, strap in! And then heads for it.
Yeah, you like punch it. It's almost as soon as you clear atmosphere, you're just like shoom, take off. You're flying through light speed. Light is just pouring, like flying behind you on all sides in this tunnel, and then shoom, you come out a quick light speed stop to hit the edge of this black hole. Jamie, tell us how you like skirt the edge of this astral anomaly.
Well, it's gonna be basically like a universe Yui, is what I'm picturing. We're basically doing a Yui at the black hole to get back to Socorro. And as we sort of approach this black hole anomaly, tell me if I'm going too weird. Time is gonna start to get weird, and we're gonna switch into some different animation genres back and forth, flipping as we're going in and out of the gravitational pull of this black hole. For some reason, Beegax starts singing opera. It gets really weird.
Jamie, that's it. You've nailed it. That's the reason why you get home, because you literally strain like time, and you're like moving through time faster than what's happening in the rest of the galaxy. So that's how you can make it. That's it.
Perfect. And then as Beegax works his magic, it's almost like from the black hole we're slingshotted through to Socorro.
Rat like shakes his body and like shakes the animation out of him, basically, like the different parallel universe, like it comes back to normal. Yeah, and then Beegax's hand goes back on the accelerator, and shoom, light speed again. You're flying through the tunnel of light until zoom, you hit the gold system where you see the red planet of Socorro amidst all of these asteroids. Tell me what it's like flying through this asteroid belt. You've done it a couple times before.
I say we pop into Socorro system, and immediately the screen gets an alert, beep beep, and I'm like, Beegax looks at it.
I already know who this is.
And before he even gets hailed, he hails back,
Look, Nemrex, we don't have time for you today. Alright?
Yeah.
If I see you in front of me, I'm running my ship straight into you. That's a promise.
and I'll just fly past him as I believe, like, it just envisioned them on their ship, like, thinking about it, and they see us just fly across, and the other pirates are like, hey, what do we do? And they're like, come on, Captain, do we shoot? And he's just standing there as the ship passes by their sights.
He's standing there, and you just like, yeah, we cut inside his ship, and he's like, well, that was rude. They're like celebrating Life Day on the pirate ship too. They're like opening presents, and there's like, yeah.
And as we finally make it past that area of the asteroid belt, Beegax looks at Elo.
I didn't think that would work.
It's a Life Day miracle. I put a little sarcasm in there.
Of course.
We're gonna run out of those pretty soon, I feel like.
The ship, we bring the ship into Atmo.
Shoom, yeah. It comes into Atmo. Boom, you land the rendezvous point, the place where you left Creed and Verse and the rest of the crew. And yeah, it just like, it's kind of a rough landing, but boom, you land down. Sand clouds up, and you see the red sun like coming up on the horizon. And then we cut to Life Day on board the Way. Everyone's there. Creed is there. He's like dressed in the Star Wars equivalent of like a really tacky sweater. Obram is there, like in one of those like weird mom robes that have like a high collar, you know. Verse is there. Gur is there, sort of like sulking and like already pouring like vodka or like whiskey into his coffee. Verse sort of like sidles up to the two of you, and she's like, Did you get it? Did you?
Beegax looks at first. He points to I'd say he points to his right side. There's this humongous bruise under his vest. He points to Elo. She's they have short circuits, there's bite marks on their armor or their exterior chassis. And he goes,
Yeah. Yeah, we got it, yeah.
Okay, cool. Did you wrap it or anything?
I mean,
the best I could. And he pulls out I assume just the equivalent of those Hallmark.
It's like in a grocery
Like a bag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of one of the, at least the, potpourri comes in those weird bags. It's one of those materials, really
Thin
it's
mesh.
It's a cloth material.
Oh yeah,
yeah, but it's not
like
mesh,
cheeseclothy.
so you can't see.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can't see.
Okay,
inside
yeah. It's like an opaque.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
And he's like,
here.
Well, don't give it to me. Give it to Creed.
Well, it's not supposed to be from us, right? Hold on.
and he'll Beegax will walk over to Gur.
Happy Life Day. Whatever.
I need you to shut up for 1 second, please. All right?
And he's like, get really close.
I know this holiday doesn't mean much to anybody these days, because of all the Imperial boots on the ground. But some people still have hope and celebrate. And a little birdie told me that our very own spy master on board this ship decided he was just going to ignore the call to action and not do his obligation and get the person he was assigned a gift.
Yeah, I had, better things to do.
No. See, that's the thing. There aren't better things to do these days.
And he's gonna hand him the bag.
You're gonna give this to Creed, and you're gonna say you thought about him and his rocks, and that's why you chose it. Otherwise, you're gonna figure out why a Doug is so dangerous to fight hand to hand with.
He, looks at you and he's like, it is too early for this. He takes the present and he's like, okay. But consider this, I am giving 2 gifts. One to Creed and now one to you.
Fine.
And then I'm gonna give him, if it's okay, I'm gonna give him my gift that I wrote it down. I reach into this is my normal vest, the side that wasn't bruised, and I give him a flask. And it's made from whatever alloy is shiniest, but it's not really valuable. And it has an engraving of whatever the Bothan national or planetary symbol for peace is. That's engraved.
Oh, cool! That's neat. Yeah, man. What would that be? I feel like
probably just thinking about it, maybe because they're very regal. It's some kind of very basic outline of a Bothan, a standard Bothan. Maybe we have presidents on our coins. It's the side of maybe a very prestigious Bothan who established peace at some point throughout the planet.
I love that.
Yeah, so he'll hand him the flask and he'll say,
Happy Life Day, you ungrateful, litter-spilling beast.
and he'll just shove the flask into him.
I think Beegax leaves him with that, and you just see him hold it, and he takes a moment and he's turning it around, and he's like you see the hardness evaporate from his face, looking at it with a expression of this is actually really nice. This is actually really nice. He gives the present to Creed. Creed is ecstatic, and it's the rock, right? Or is it the rock and the tree?
It's the rock and the tree. I think we will we'll just leave it somewhere. Oh, it's a life day miracle. Just have it somewhere. No one, because I don't think anyone's. When we got on the ship, I assume Elo and I were being very crafty about it. We're oh yeah, we came back from shopping. We had all this extra junk. We didn't buy the decorations.
We were basically Santa, placing the little tree and all of the little decorations. There's strands of used medical equipment all over.
Yeah, there's a bunch of scalpels hanging up. But you did get a decoration. Yeah, it is this tree, right?
Mm-hmm,
it is this tree. So Creed opens this gift and he's like,
oh my god, Gur, this is amazing. Where did you even get this? I've never even seen anything like this before in my whole life. And it's warm. It's giving off actual heat and light.
Yeah, I just picked it up from, I had it lying around. It was no big thing, Happy Life Day, buddy. Happy Life Day. And he looks over at Beegax and he's putting in the effort. He's like, and then he looks around and he sees this tree, and he's like, oh, and he looks at the two of you and he's like,
you did bring decorate. Well, first of all, I love the medical waste. That's a really nice touch, hello. It's very you. But the tree, this is an actual Kashyyyk life tree. Where did you get this?
He looks to Elo.
We had a little detour.
Well, this is incredible. I'm gonna keep this. Well, I'm gonna grow this. We're gonna have an actual Life Day tree next Life Day. It's gonna be incredible. I don't know where we're gonna find room for it on the ship, but I'll figure that out. I'll figure that out. Oh, thank you so much.
and he's massive, so he just like takes the two of you and just like gives you a big hug with his like big burly arms, and he's like,
oh, it's so nice to be all together on Life Day. That's all I really want.
Beegax like,
Yeah, just ease up on the grip there, buddy,
Oh,
please.
sorry.
Happy Life Day, Creed.
Happy Life Day, hello. Happy Life Day, Beegax.
Yeah, happy Life Day, big guy. Yeah. Enjoy it.
he's gonna like go over to a table where there's food and he's gonna say,
I'm famished.
Creed has gifts for everyone for Secret Sarlacc, and for Beegax there's like a whole book of coupons for his favorite ramen stand for like free ramen.
"Whoa!" Like he looks at he goes through the book,
Oh, I'm gonna eat like a king.
flipping through.
Oh, and there's specials I've never even heard of.
Buy one, get one.
Egg, you can put eggs in ramen.
And for LO, he gets like a special part. It's like a festive red arm that's all done up in like Life Day stuff. Like it's bright red and it's like
Candy cane.
Yeah, it's like candy cane striped, and there's like lights wrapped around it and like orbs. And unbeknownst to LO, he like snuck away and painted Barney to match. So
Oh my gosh,
Barney,
I love it.
yeah, Barney is like dressed up as a little like candy cane as well with little lights and stuff like that.
That's so cute.
What so LO, you've got a Secret Sarlacc. Who was it?
I had Beegax.
Oh, it was Beegax. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's the gift you give to Beegax?
So I think Elo is going to sit next to Beegax and put up this box on the table and just sort of slide it over to Beegax without looking over at him, just saying, "I was your Secret Sarlacc.
Oh,
Happy Life Day, Beegax." And it's very meticulously wrapped.
he doesn't care. He's like,
oh, well, you didn't have to do that. Come on.
and he sees how nice
Oh, it's wrapped all nice.
and he just uses his all four dug limbs and rips it apart. The paper just like flying up and down, and he opens the box.
And I think I want it to be, have you guys seen, I've recently found this like area of TikTok where it's custom keyboards. They're like resin keyboards that you can make for each different
Yes.
key and stuff. I want it to be like a Doug themed custom.
Oh, that's
Keyboard.
so good. Oh, that's so good.
What he could never find.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good.
Oh. So he looks at the keyboard and he lifts it up.
What? When did you go to Malastair? How did you do this?
It was special order, but I figured as long as you don't break this one, it may last you a while.
Wow, Elo, this is incredible. Thank you.
And for a moment, you see his smile kind of grow for a second, like one side just almost overwhelming, and then he catches himself.
Yeah, I gotta make sure it's compatible, but yeah. Thank you.
Well, you can test it out. I got a gift receipt.
Oh, okay, good.
Oh, there's one last thing though. Whoop whoop. You get a little message on your deck with your new keyboard that you're checking out.
Okay. He's like investigating. He's like,
Oh, what's this?
And it comes from your special channel from Chai Chai. And it just says, "Happy Life Day, buddy."
Chai, you're still alive. Thank the maker.
he'll type in, "Happy Life Day, Chai Chai. Stay safe."
And that is our story. And wasn't it splendid? Another begins just as this one has ended. The wills of the Force bless this Wookiee life day a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. There are no rebel heroes, no Biggs and no Wedge on this dusty frontier at the Empire's edge. But there is still hope out here in the void for a surly Doug Slicer and a modified droid. A special message to listeners from the Way and its crew. Happy holidays, and may the Force be with you. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Respect the Crit, Empire's Edge. If you like what you heard, please consider supporting us by giving us a 5-star rating and review on iTunes. It's a simple thing that will really help us grow the show, and we love to read your feedback. For more information about the show, visit @RespectTheCrit on Twitter and Instagram. Beegax is played by Alex Herrera, who you can find on Twitter @AEHerrera or on his Twitch channel, WadeWolf10. Elo is played by Jamie Lee-Bonés, who you can find on Instagram @jamielee.bones. I'm Ian Duncan, your GM and MC, and you can find me @idunks on Twitter and Instagram. The original music featured in the show is provided with permissions by a variety of artists and are linked in the show notes. Please support them by visiting their platforms to check out more of their work and tell them how much you like the show. The Star Wars role-playing system and books are published by Fantasy Flight Games. And remember, whatever the system, whether it's a miss or a hit, you always gotta respect the crit. Thank you very much, and may the Force be with you.
Even on Life Day, I gotta deal with this. Also, Obram, I'm sorry, I wasn't aware you were so nautically intuitive.
Like I said, I'm old. I get around.
Alright, well, I'm saving that for later.
I fuck. Or I did. Let me tell you about it, young man. Sit down. I have so many stories.
Beegax runs away.